Jen, and I'm here to show just the first 4 days of my December daily album. Me and my daughter Malia will be sharing our albums each week, so next week we'll have 7 more days, but or maybe even more, but for today we just have 4 days. And so I just want to show you what I did and kind of how I switched things up if I did that anywhere. So the intro page has stayed the same along with my reason why. The first day we went to the Festival of Trees, which is like a little show thingy where people can decorate trees and donate them, and then they're auctioned off and all the proceeds go to Primary Children's Hospital. And so my mother-in-law always makes a tree or two each year, and so it's a tradition for us to go. This particular year she had me do some hand lettering for like Santa's bag here. You can kind of see it down here. But I printed a large photo of my mother-in-law's tree on vellum, and I love doing that. And I just printed it to the size of the page protector, so it's not 6 by 8, it's more like 7 by 8 1/4 or so. And so I just printed that off on vellum on my inkjet printer, and I just don't put it on the best settings. I put it on normal instead of best when I print, and it works great. This is just cheap vellum from Hobby Lobby, I think, and so you can see how nicely that turns out. At the top, I used some of the white letters that came in, I think they come in the December Daily main kit, and then I just wrote the word trees. I stamped the word tradition, which comes from the Felicity Jane stamp set, and that's from her November kit. And then I'm using gold staples throughout my album, and so I just stapled that on there. And then when you flip it over, you can still see through it, which is really cool. I love printing on vellum. And then I used a card from the Paisley Press kit that has little trees on it, and then a big number 1, I believe this is from last year's kit. This little traditions comes from these little, these came in the main December Daily kit from Allie this year, and I just tucked it underneath the one, so you just see half of the tag there and then stapled it on. And this is a photo of my daughter and my husband next to the tree, and then I just wrote a little bit about how you know, what the Festival of Trees is and why this year my nephew had just, he was in Primary Children's at the time when we went to the Festival of Trees, so he has cerebral palsy, and so we're always, he's up there a lot, and so we like to support Primary Children's wherever we can, so we did that. And the next day we went and got our tree, and so we like to support the local lot near us. And if you follow me on Instagram, you may have seen this, but I decided to keep the little off-cut. Like when you get a tree, they give it a fresh cut, so it's nice on the bottom or whatever. Kind of like how you cut flowers, I'm guessing, just to let the water get up in them easier and stuff like that, so they stay good longer. And it was super thin, and so I just grabbed it off the ground to keep it. And originally, you can kind of see it's jagged here. I punched holes in the actual piece of wood. It wasn't completely full. It's thicker on this side, and then it got really thin onto this side. And so what I did was I took some, Ellie Studio sells these little wood, they're meant for this purpose, to put things in albums. And so what I did was I just stapled it to the piece of wood. And so the staples didn't go all the way through, which was perfect. And the wood is darker on one side and lighter on the other, which is just like my piece of wood. And so I thought that worked out really well. So what I did was I just stapled this Happy Christmas, which is from the Allie's main kit, on this side. And then on this side, I used a stamp set, which is, I'll show you which one it is. It's this one from Allie, and I can't remember what it's called, but it's just a bunch of long phrases, and phrases like this are good because they're easy to curve. So what I did was just, I grabbed the stamp that says "So Fond of This," and I put it on my block, and I curved it on my block, and then I stamped it on my wood. It's not exactly perfect, but I think it looks kind of cool. And then on the inside right here, I just put a little acrylic heart, and that's also from Ellie's Studio. So, sorry, lots of explaining on this one. So for this card, before I had like a little green striped card, and there was a bunch of stuff on it, little circles. It had that number 2, and then it also had magic and this little star. But I decided it was too busy, I didn't love it, and I wanted to use this little tree tag, and so this is from the Allie's main kit as well, and so are these stickers, and the 2 is from Felicity Jane, but I just decided to put the tag on the back of this card, and I glued a sequin star on there. And then this is from the main kit as well, and I just typed up how we come to this tree lot every year, and how my daughter was super excited about picking out the tree, as she is every year. So here's a picture of the tree on top of our car with a few little label stickers. And then on this side, I cut, so this page protector was all 3x4s, and I just didn't need that much space, so I decided to cut it in half, and then I just stretched my photo over the 2 3x4 pockets. So I printed a 3x8 and cut it in half, and this is my daughter by the tree she picked out. And then I used a little index tab. Now these aren't the Avery Elle ones, these are like an Office Depot brand, and theirs are smaller. These ones are 1-inch tabs. I think you can get 1-inch tabs from Avery Elle as well, but so they're a little bit smaller than the Avery Elle index tabs that Allie uses, or that you can find in her shop. But I thought that was nice, and the stamp comes from the Storytelling with December Daily. If you took that class, you could get the stamp set for free, and I did that last year. So that is day 2. Day 3, we had our church Christmas party, and so I used this card from from the Paisley Press kit, mini kit, that was sold through Allie's site, and it just had this scribbly circle up top. So I just wrote church holiday party in there. I stamped December gratitude with, throughout the album I'm using my Allie Edwards ink, so that's Pendleton ink, and so these are also stamped with the Pendleton ink. The detail stamp came from my Drive Story kit. And so I just, again, typed on here. I plan to use a mixture of my handwriting and then my typewriter throughout the album, which really worked for me last year. And so I just typed all about our Christmas party, and I am the music leader for the little kids, and so they sang a couple of Christmas songs, so you can see me here dressed in red and green on the side. I didn't really want to include myself, but I mean, I want to include myself in my album. This isn't the best photo, but it works. My husband took it for me while I was up there leading the kids. So they dressed like angels and shepherds, and it was really cute and very informal, but it was really sweet. So, and then I also, I did some hand lettering for some little things that went on the tables, and so I decided to include one of the tags that I lettered, and it says Light the World, and then I just wrote on the back. So these little stickers come from they're from Studio Calico 7 paper. I think it's their Felix line, which is discontinued now, but I had them in my stash, so I decided to use them. Now, originally I had this in here in my album for day number 3, but I just didn't have anything that I needed to stick in there, so I decided to just save it, and I'll stick it somewhere else in my album when I actually have something to tuck into this cute little pocket. So I also decided to, throughout the album, put these little word strips, which came in the most recent story kit from Allie Edwards, and it's from the Surprise story kit, and I just really like the golden cream, and so I'm putting those on. I'm just going to be putting those throughout the album. And so I added, so this card is from the Paisley Press kit as well, and I just added, I had the 3 in the tag in there already. I added the Fa La La, which comes from the Allie's main kit, and then the little word strips there. So I'm keeping it pretty simple, and in my album I'm calling done better than amazing. And so I'm not wanting to take a ton of time on this, because I just want to have it done, and that's what makes me happy. And so just something to note, I guess. So on the back, so this is day 4, and I'm thinking maybe I need to put a 4 on here somewhere, because this continues over 2 spreads. What I decided to do was a full photo spread on this one, and so I didn't have anything to stick on the back of it. So this is just a filler page, and this is a 6x8 page from last year's kit, from last year's December daily kit, and then I just stuck a little canvas star on there. And then this pretty card is from the Paisley Press kit, and then I added another one of those little strips at the top. I stamped this story and then wrote a few things. So it says, this story is about a family who loves each other, a family that is soaking up every moment together. This story is about love for a sweet little boy named Porter who just got a new feeding tube. So this is my nephew I was talking about that was at Primary Children's Hospital. And that's what everyone's gathered around looking at his new feeding tube. This story is about finding joy in each moment. And so I talked about that on this part. So day 4 is kind of 2 parts. One is talking about getting together with family. The second part, which I really wanted to focus on, was my intent to find the magic in little moments. And so when we got to my in-laws' house, they have an awesome deck with a great view, and I stepped outside and just kind of soaked in this little winter moment, and it was so beautiful, and I knew immediately that I wanted to blow this up and stick it in my album, and so that's what I did. I just printed it. I cut it in half, so I did 2 pictures. Each one is 7 by 8 1/4, about that, to fit in here. And then I just punched holes. And then, so I added a season of intention and these little words. This comes from, I will be sure to link to it, but it comes from one of the digital stamps that Allie released with December Daily this year. And then I just typed. And the typewriter font that I use is just Courier New. I think most computers come with that standard. And so, but I like it. And then these little word strips are from Freckled Fawn that I added down at the bottom. And then I just added another one of these canvas stars and some of these little gold stars that I believe are from the Paisley Press mini kit this year. And then this 4 was in here already, but just as a reminder, that's from Studio Calico, and I just punched holes in it rather poorly. There's like a couple extra holes in here, but I don't care. You can't really tell. So that's all I have done so far. So I know that on day 5 I need to put something on the back of this photo, and so that is my plan, and that's as far as I've gotten. Today is day 7, and so I will, what my daughter and I are doing is just every few days kind of catching up and doing a few layouts, and so that's what the plan is, and I'll continue to do so. So Malia is going to show you her album now, if you're interested in that. So Mal, why don't you bring it over?
So first, we went to the Festival of Trees, and we saw my grandma's tree because she makes one every year, and we saw this tree, and it was rainbow, had a bunch of different colors, and I just really liked it, so I put it in there too. And then this is day 2. It's when we got our tree.
Oh, I forgot to mention, me and Mally both used this in our albums. Malia took that photo because she knew she had this little card in her album that had the tree on it, and so she wanted to take a picture of the tree on top of our car right now.
Yeah. And I also have one of these. And the reason I have this napkin is because I drew it at the restaurant that we went to before we went to get the tree. Mm-hmm. And my mom gave me a giant pen to write it with. And this is day 3, the primary program. And this is just me and my cousin. Her name's Amari, and she
Hold it up like this so there's no glare.
She wanted to come, and we had to dress like angels, so I put an angel.
Mm-hmm.
And then, oops. This is day 4 when we went to Grandma Susie's house.
Hold it up like this just because there's a glare on it.
Okay. And I wrote that, well, Porter's dad told us that he all had 2 belly buttons now, so I wrote, Porter got 2 belly buttons now.
He had surgery.
Yeah. And right here I wrote, we go to Grandma Susie's house every day because every Sunday because soon Papa Craig and Grandma Susie are going on a mission to Ghana, Africa.
Yep. So my in-laws are going to serve a mission for our church for 2 years in Africa as soon as they're ready to go, which will probably be right after Christmas. So we're spending as much time as we can with them before they're gone. And so definitely Mally documented it, and I also wrote that in my journaling for mine. So all right, that's all we have to share with you today. You can check out photos over on my blog at craftysgenscow.com of my album, and I will be back next week, and so will Malia, right, Mal?
Yeah.
To share the progress on our albums so far then. So I'll try to share every Wednesday. Thanks so much for watching. If you have any questions about what I did or the things that I used, just leave me a comment and I will go ahead and answer that for you. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you soon.